Oh, this your waist, this your waist, this your Oh girl, you know one little, one way or two, one little, oh you know.
Guys, welcome to QM Chronicles vlog. And this is the first episode we're having, and the topic for today is family it's actually a blessing or can actually be a source of destruction. Because it's our first episode, we want to share a little bit of our environment with you guys and introduce you to Leah and her puppies. Look at Dre, stubborn Dre. So don't mind me, guys, just trying to be a little goofy, but I hope that this first episode is worth it. It might not be the best. I would be expecting your criticisms, your love still, your subtractions and additions, your ideas, your whatever you think, just tell us. But then we're just going to do this. Let's shoot.
Yeah. So let me check. So let me check
As long as you grew up in a family, trust me, the love is there. Everything to keep you away from trouble is there. But who says staying away from trouble is going to give you what you want? Then I guess you should think again. That's one. Two, once you're actually about to take a risk, these are like calculated risks. Sometimes it doesn't turn out well, even as calculated as it could be. Sometimes it does turn out well. But at this point, they always want to, it's something, for someone you love, you want to keep them at a safe place. Now, if you continue to stay in your comfort zone, definitely you know that you're not ready to pursue or achieve whatever you say you want to achieve. Now, for as long as family is there, there is a tendency that they would want to always be in control, not realizing even the fact that you've grown into an adult. Probably your responses and actions would be what will convince your parents, so to say, that you're actually an adult and you can make decisions for yourself. Trust me, there are people who are like as old as 35, going to 40, but still living in their parents' place and still take orders from them simply because they still, how would I put it, they've not been able to outgrow the childhood days. They've not been able to do things on their own or stand up for themselves. You don't blame parents like that for trying to be in total control. Sometimes too, parents could get very carried away trying to be in total control. But at some point in life, like it is even said in the Bible, a man leaves his mother and father and clings to his wife. So definitely you would have to grow up to a stage where you would have to make these decisions for yourself. Trust me, it wasn't easy for them during their time. So don't think it's going to be easy for you during your time. So they're trying to be very protective of the pains they went through with you. Now it's left for you to be smart enough to know how to manage these things, handle these things, be goal-oriented, make them understand as well that you know what you're doing. It could be a very difficult process. It could be something that would take a whole lot of convincing, a whole lot of quarreling, a whole lot of misunderstanding. But then that point will come where everybody has to understand that, oh, you're grown, oh, you can do things for yourself. Now, I want to come back to family being a blessing. The truth is, even at the point of where you're looking for a job, at the point of times where things are difficult, these are the guys you see around, you stick around. At the very tough times, these are the people you see there for you. You can't see your friends there. The reason you always hear people say there is nothing like family, but at the same time, we have to be careful about how much we attach ourselves to things, simply because, not because I don't know how to be careful about my statement at this point, but I'm going to still put it this way. You were born alone. Life's race is a personal race. Take everyone along with you as much as you can. Help people as much as you can, but then always remember that no one owes you the responsibility of being happy. Happiness is actually your own decision, your own choice, your own job to do for yourself. So now don't put that happiness on somebody else saying, oh, it's because of this person I couldn't get this, it's because of this thing I couldn't get this. I just can never forget when I was my final year, my best friend had to tell me, say, Chichi, anything that happens to you in this life, once you fail or there's something you didn't know, just like it was your fault, probably you didn't hear about it. Why didn't you hear about it? Another said about it. So whatever happens to you, just take it as your own responsibility, and it's your fault, good or bad, it's your own fault. When you start to think that way, you definitely would never put or blame anything that happens to you to anybody, or shift responsibilities, or the most annoying part of it is feel entitled, that spirit of entitlement. Oh my God, I can't say how much that thing gets to me, but then I don't know where that came from, if they can actually say it's a Nigerian thing, but I'm not going to talk about that, probably on another vlog. But then the thing is, if you're not careful, family could probably control you to a point that you have no say for yourself anymore. Not because they wish you bad, but because they're not even seeing what you might be seeing. You're the one in the situation. Now they're judging it from the experience they've had. Now your experience might be similar but slightly different, and you don't blame them for these things. It is your job to make them see these things the way it actually is and understand it. That's my point. Okay, coming back to the post I made the other day on my WhatsApp status, talking about, okay, a guy came online saying, oh, he has a girlfriend, it's Christmas, and her mother called saying, oh, remember you're supposed to buy chicken for me. Well, because it's Christmas, and buy a bag of rice and all sorts of those food items they call. Then sister called and says, oh, she has an event that same day and she wants to make her hair. You should send money to her. And you remember saying that the father called yesterday, as the previous day, saying that he should loan him 300,000 naira.
Nobody wanna give, everybody wanna take. Fine girls want to get.
This is a girlfriend he's not even married to yet. And I'm thinking about it. Do you have to throw yourself outside to the open that much that you can't afford these things? Or I'm trying to understand it. When two people are in a relationship, as I should understand, there should be this level of understanding. Now the young man saying, I actually thought of proposing to her this December. Do you think it's a wise decision to make? He's already questioning himself. Now he's not questioning what you guys share. He's questioning what his tomorrow is like, simply because the family has a direct access and they feel they could just come up and ask some of. I just feel that spirit of entitlement too, like I talk about, like I was saying, just had its part to play in this situation. And I keep asking myself, why would the dad be able to call the boyfriend and ask that he asked for 300,000 naira? For crying out loud, that talks low. Now, is it that bad that they can't even afford the bag of rice? Even when he's not married yet, they are reminding him of doing these things that he knows that he will do. And I'm very, very certain that even if he's not told, during Christmas time, he knows if he loves the girl pretty much and is ready to settle down with her, he already knows that these are little things you have to do to keep the family together, to keep the family happy. Even you as the daughter, you're not even, I don't think you're supposed to be reminded of the things you should do if you can do them. And if you can, make them understand that this is the situation of things. So I think of all these things and I'm like, oh, now, would you say it's because of the family that the guy is thinking about these things? Now, would you say the girl in question can't even do these things for her family? Let's assume she's not even working or she's just done with school. Now, would you be requesting things like this from somebody else who is not even your son-in-law yet? I don't see how okay that is, if you ask me seriously. And talks really low about the family. Would you say the family has marred her chances to getting married or settling down this time? At this point, I would tell you yes. And only if the guy is just going to open up to her to say, this is the reason why I'm changing my mind, if he actually ended up doing that. Now, my point is, I believe if she's working, she should be able to do these things for her family. And even if she can't, then they shouldn't be asking for such huge requests from someone who is not even their son-in-law yet. It goes a long way. Like, it goes a really long way. The process of your parents being in total control, they could actually think they know everything happening to you, everything going on with you. In some cases, it might not really be the issue, or it might not really be exactly what it is that they think. So now, I think at this point, there should just be a way to balance how the family feels, what the family wants, and exactly what you want. But you should be able to communicate exactly what you want to them and try to see how you can get their buying into it or get their understanding. Now, when you're growing up, every parent wants, or she goes to school, comes out with good grades, get a job, get married, give them kids, and that's the end of your life. And your life goes in just that circle. Now, at the end of the day, you don't plan these things yourself. Whatever is going to happen to you, or whatever is going to be your destiny, has been rewritten or has been written. Now, how it's going to happen, you really don't know when you're going to, how I put it, I don't want to go strictly into the marriage part, so it's going to be like, oh, this is it. But the truth is, you really don't, you're not in control of these things. You can pray over them, you can try as much as possible to follow them up, but you're not in control of these things. However your tomorrow is going to be was already ordained by God, as is our own predestined future. But how best to go about it, how best to pray about it is what matters. I remember telling a friend that life itself is 90% spiritual, 10% physical, which means you must be in sync with the spiritual part of it. In fact, you've already succeeded in the spiritual before it reflects in the physical. That's why everybody has to be really as prayerful as possible. Like someone will always say, if you're holding the devil, hold him well. If you're holding God, hold him well. You can't be in the middle. You can't be lukewarm. You just have to be somewhere. So if you know what you're chasing, chase it to the very latter. By all means. People say by all means, not saying look for just every physical way you know. No, both spiritual and physical. So my point here is still talking about family. Family itself even gets to the part where you have to pray about them, pray about their understanding, pray to God for the strength, like for God to give you the strength to be able to deal with family. Every one of us at some point in our adulthood has responsibilities, has things to do, has expectations. There are already expectations there, whether you like it or not. If your parents are alive, even if they are dead, your aunties and uncles, wherever, your brothers and sisters, if you have younger ones, trust, you already expect. In fact, that is the genesis of the spirit of entitlement. At some point, it is actually not out of place. I'm not saying being entitled is like completely bad, but I'm saying it should be followed up the right way. So my point is, at some point, even your parents have expectations, your elder ones, your younger ones have expectations from you. So for as long as, whether you like it or not, there's some things you must do. There's some things you will do to tell them that, oh, you've gotten to this stage. There's some things you will do to tell them that, oh, you're married. There's some things you will do to tell them that, oh, you're working now. There are a lot of things, especially in the African setting. Just know it. I guess to that point where by yourself, you just grow your brain. As long as these expectations exist, there would always be this comparison between you and your mates. There would always be this comparison between you and other people around you. There would always be that part of, oh, this person is doing this, why are you not doing this? So don't even think you escape it. But then how do you manage these things? How do you manage family's expectations? How do you manage that point where it seems you're just lagging behind? But if you check yourself and look at yourself, you still see that you're blessed though. A lot of things are working for you, but still, there's still that part that family makes you understand that no, you're not doing this thing right, or you're not doing this thing well. Oh, you're married, but there is no kid yet. Oh, you're still single, you're not married, even if you have all the money in the world. Oh, you have a kid, but your kids are not doing well. Oh, there's always that thing that would always miss. Who says somebody's 100% perfect? That's why I always tell you, be you, do you for you. Whatever it is you're chasing, whatever it is you know you want to have, work so hard. By the time your focus is there, it has no choice. Everything around it has to just be with you. Somehow it just leads you to what you really want. So the thing is, when family even starts with all the bequests and all the expectations, you're just going to see yourself sitting and smiling at them because you already know these things will come. One truth you should know is, if family actually is not on your case, then probably they don't even love you. The love is not there. So for me, these are just the things that go with life experiences. These are the things that make you look back and say, oh, you value these people more than anything in the world, because you know they're going to fight for you for as much as they're going to slam you when you do anything wrong. They're actually one set of people who will tell you exactly how it is, because they're not scared of losing you, because they know that they cannot even lose you. So that's like a gone case. They'll just tell you exactly what it is or how it is. So the thing is, family for me is one very precious gift. But then, if not managed carefully, could actually be abused. Be abused in the sense that if you don't have a say, if you don't know what you want, even when you know what you want and you're not confident enough to go for that thing you want, and you're always being pushed, trust me, be ready to go the way family. Trust me, they do these things to protect you, but they don't know that while actually protecting you, we're keeping you in a zone where you would not be exposed to see the things you really deserve. They do love you, but then you cannot be in your safe zone for too long. Ask me, I think family should be understanding. even where they do not display that act of understanding, you should give them some time. Family is one group of people in existence in our life history that I think deserve the highest amount of patience. So no matter what comes from there that you feel you're not comfortable with, be patient enough to deal with them, because things would always readjust itself to what it should be, no matter the time it takes with family. It will readjust itself. And family is one place that you should always listen to, but doesn't mean you should take every word that comes out from there. You should be able to analyze which is going to help you, which is going to be protecting you, which is worth holding so close to because it's protecting you in the right way, or which you're going to really not hold so close to, because as much as it is protecting you, it's going to block you from getting those things or knowing. In the case of the lady, if there was a very good understanding between the lady and her family, and they should understand that this person is still a stranger, and you can't just take all your requests to this person like we usually practice. There are some things the parents won't even be confident enough to go to him and say, I need this. These are the things that I would rather prefer that the girl makes him, that she should be the one to make those requests. Parts where the father needs 300k to just fix his Sienna car. For crying out loud, please, for crying out loud. There are lots of things that we should probably go past or try to keep our self-respect for. I just feel like it's necessary. People might think I'm just overflogging the whole thing, but trust me, integrity is everything. At least I learned that from my dad. Integrity is everything. So no matter what, there are some things you just shouldn't even request for. It should come willingly from the young man. Probably he's even saying, oh, my Sienna is bad, I'm thinking about to fix it, I hope by this time I'll be able to fix it. And the young man is like, oh, no, daddy, don't worry, I'll make sure by next week I'll send you some money, you do this. It's a different case than borrow me 300,000 naira, let me fix my Sienna. Oh my God. So the thing, family should just be controlled. Find a way to have this understanding between them. I'm very, very certain that if they respect you that much, they will definitely respect your partner same way, and they would not be able to just call him up without even speaking to you, without even letting you know. And if it happens that she's even aware before that time, then in fact, let me not just go there. It all started from her. That's what she wants. So whatever she wants to get from it, that's it. But understanding is pretty key. It's not just between in your relationship, understanding in the family setting, understanding everywhere. The fact that you can actually air your views, say things the way you feel them, say things the way you know them. You can be corrected, always be ready to be corrected. But then when you know what you want, you should be able to stand for what you want, for as long as they are the right things, for as long as there are things that you know that on the long run will pay off. It might take you pain and a lot of discomfort to build, but it will definitely pay off. Just be patient about it. It will definitely work. Family might even be the last set of people to understand you. Trust. It's not even 100% important that family has to buy into your idea before you make it in life, because you can't even hold family to ransom because you did not make it in life. That's like the most stupid thing anybody can do. In conclusion, my point is family can actually be a blessing to you. They could actually be the secret to your success for some of us, not for everybody. Family can actually be that drive and that goal to want to achieve or chase that thing you really want. But then family should be managed in a very, very mature and understanding way. Family should always be listened to. And family is one thing that should always be put first and analyzed, if you ask me, and analyzed. So please, we should find the best way to actually control the perception of everyone. It's a very important thing in life generally, including that of family. So as much as we can actually control people's perception, we should be able to manage the expectations of family. We should be able to bring ourselves to the point where family can understand us. They were once kids, we are the kids now. We are going to that point where we'll become parents and we'll listen to our kids. We can't continue with the same cycle. So please, I think everyone should actually find that way to actually make family understand who they really are. The truth is, every one of us, we have something really spectacular about us. Some of us might be stubborn inside, but it's for a reason. Probably there's something we're trying to chase, or there's something we really want to have, and probably we don't even have the means, or we have the means, but we're scared enough to take that step, and we're just looking for that push. But I can tell you that sometimes even the push doesn't even come from family. So the point is, learn to be able to grow that understanding, be able to say or communicate what you really want, who you really are. Let them know who this person really is. Let them know how much space you really need. Let them know the support you would love to get from them. Let them into everything. Like, everyone who loves you wants to be in the picture of everything happening to you. But then, as much as you feel that they can get to know, fine, let them know about it. But then you should be able to manage their perception. You should be able to manage the understandings of the messages you pass, and you should be patient enough to deal with everything that comes out of it. Very important. So please, family can be pretty important, but if not managed well, you can't give them all the leverage to actually barge into your life. It gets to a point where parents have to understand that when we are grown as adults, we need our spaces. We make some decisions that sometimes we want to deal with. We take some steps that on a normal day, if we think of every other person, we're not going to take them. But at this point, we look at, okay, what's the profit on the long run? Are they going to smile at it? Is it things that will actually bring smile on everybody's face? As much as they don't want me to take that step, I am very, very sure that if you're actually well behaved and you've actually expressed it to them that you know what you're doing and you're not a kid anymore, as much as they might not want to take it so fast or so easily, the truth is, if you actually do things the way you should be, they would learn to understand that you're grown. They would learn to respect your space. And if you're somebody who is respected, trust me, everything falls in place. It might take a while. It might take a very tough struggle. It might take you keeping quiet to a lot of things. It might take you loving them endlessly despite whatever comes your way. It might take you being that different person to make them understand that it's never going to be, it's not always going to be the hard way to deal with things. Just allow things flow. It might just take a whole lot from you. But one thing is, if you're respected, it's going to reflect around everything that has to do with you. So family is patience, family is love. Communication and understanding in family is key, highly key. So I just know that once the communication and understanding is there and the love is there, no matter the hurdle, you're going to be able to deal with it. Family is just not going to be an issue. Family would never be something you can't deal with, because you guys talk, because you guys have come to understand yourself, because you guys have fought and gotten to that point where they've just had to take you for who you are, who you really are. They're not trying to change you to be who you're not. So there's a whole lot involved. By the end of the day, it's actually worth it when you get to that point where you can manage these things. Rather than family being a source of destruction to you, it will become a blessing to you. But all the same, one thing I kind of like understood with life is everything in life happens the way you allow it to, the way you position it yourself. Everything that actually happens to you happens because you're like the front liner in everything that comes to you. You're like the decision maker. So if it's going to be terrible between you and family, it's your choice, it's your decision. If it's going to work out between you and your family, it's still your choice and your decision. It's still something you're going to work for. So whatever happens to us generally is definitely not what other people cost, but what we actually mold it to be. So it's high time that a lot of people learn to deal with things the way they have to, treat things like it's their responsibility, and don't shy away from things. Like, there's really nothing to be scared about in this world. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anything to be scared about. If you lose at the end of the day, you learn from it, you get better, you get an experience to share with someone. If you win, you still have the joy to share with people. So really, what are you really scared of? I really don't see that thing anybody should be scared of. And of all things, family, no, God put them there to actually lead you, to actually direct you. Like, it's train a child the way you should go, and it will never depart from it. And if they've done their job, it's your job to stick to your values, to stick to those qualities you know that would make you a better person, to stick to your policies. At the end of the day, they mold you to who you become. They open you to the world, but at the end of the day, who you end up being is who you have decided to be. So I'll still say family is just is a blessing, but do not make it a source of destruction for your own self. Thank you for watching this vlog. I would really appreciate you subscribe to the channel. Just down there click on the subscribe button so that when we have new videos you could be prompted about it. And until we get to talk again,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So let me check. So let me check color. Baby, me show Korea. Baby, so let me check. So let me check color. Baby, show Korea. Oh my baby, girl, I want to know how you scatter the place.